All right, it's 1:30, so I guess we should get started. Welcome everybody. I'm honored with this full room. I am from origin, I'm a Dutch speaker, so English is my second language. So maybe at some places you might hear a funny accent, or maybe I even have to think of a word. Please bear with me. And how many of you are for who is English a second language as well? Okay, so you might know what. Is there anybody who doesn't speak Dutch in the room? Okay, so we'll keep in English. Sure. Yeah, just checking. Okay, welcome. How social networks can save you time. I'm going to talk about social networks. I'm going to talk about social media. I'm going to try to paint you a little picture of what's my vision and my personal experience of how these new technologies enable me to use my social network to save me time. But in order to do so, I'd like to get a feel of who's my audience and what your media and technology use is at this moment. So let's start off with a couple of easy questions. How many of you in this room are currently using a mobile phone? I said it were easiest questions, so it's 100% score. Nice. How many people of you are using actually email? All of you? Yeah, it's no surprise. Okay, let's move into a little bit newer technologies, online social media. How many people of you are using LinkedIn? Okay, that's more and more every day. How many people of you are active on Twitter? Most of the time it's about half of you, yes. Facebook maybe? YouTube? SlideShare? Yeah. Okay, some of you do, some of you don't. Good. So we probably have some people who are really already into this new media, new technology. Well, you might be able to relate to what I'm saying. Those of you who are not yet, if I'm going too fast, I'm saying things you don't understand, please raise your hand. I'll try to elaborate on that. How many of you have the feeling, you might recognize this one as well, I would like to get into this new technology. Maybe you're thinking, I have to do something with this new social media, but I simply don't have the time to do it. Some of you. Well, hopefully after today, I can show you a way that might change your opinion. Just one last question to ask yourself. How many of you have that same feeling when thinking about a mobile phone or thinking about using email? How many of you have ever said, well, I should start using email, but I simply don't have the time? None of you. One of you. Okay. Love you here. Thanks. All right. Let's get started. Maybe in 1 minute about myself. My name is Gerrit Heikoop. I'm from Amsterdam, and I'm the co-founder of a company called Trickle Event Intelligence. And we deliver a service that's called What's On. And What's On makes it really simple to communicate event programs or schedules to your visitors through mobile phones, through screens, to your website. And the advantage is that you keep all your data in one source. So if there's a change, maybe your speaker won't show up or you have to change rooms, there's only one place where you make this change to your program and the information is correct on all devices. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about social networks. Probably all of you either are an entrepreneur, have a company, or you work for a company that sells stuff, right? Well, if you look at the economic theory, it used to say that in order to create value, you need three means of production. You need natural resources, you need labor, and you need capital, money. And the more natural resources you use, the more labor you can use, and the more capital you can apply, the more products or services you can produce, so the more value you can create, right? So how many of you here today actually work on a day-to-day basis with natural resources? None of you. Okay, great. I don't do that myself either. But we all work in what we now call, let's say, a knowledge economy, internet economy, technology-driven economy. And we produce or create value mainly with our head. We're knowledge workers. And in this knowledge economy, I believe that the new three means of production are your knowledge, so what you know, your creativity, what you do with that knowledge, and your relations, who you know. I actually worked a while on the Isle of Cyprus. I saw they have a booth here as well. And Cyprus is an island, and it's even enlarged, and they say it's not so much what you know, it's who you know. Because in the end, you're doing business with people. And for me personally, as an entrepreneur and as a businessman, I believe that my relationships, my network is the most valuable asset I possess in order to do my business. Because my network is a bunch of people who have answers to my questions, who have questions that I have the answer to, who sell what I want to buy and who want to buy what I have to sell. So if I have an opportunity to really activate them, that's a great resource of creating value. Now, as you see, what I'm doing is social media. I'm splitting the social and the media. The media part is about technology. It's about platforms like a LinkedIn, like a Twitter, like a Facebook. It's not that interesting. I mean, at this moment, it's these platforms. From 5 years from now, we don't know which technology is going to be. But the concept of what this technology does for your social networks is really interesting. And that's why I've made this little graph. And what you see here is on the horizontal axis, you can say time. And on the vertical axis, you can say the intensity of contact. So, for example, the left pylon, that's our meeting today. We're meeting face to face. We can talk to each other. We can smell each other. We can touch each other if we want it. It's a really intense moment of contact. Then a couple of weeks, we don't see each other anymore. And maybe in 3-4 weeks, I might give you a call. And we have another pretty intense, it's now at 75%, pretty intense moment of contact. And then we won't see each other for a long time. And then after 3 to 6 months, we might meet again face to face. And we have a very intense moment of contact.